everybody, it's Romania Black, and we are on volume 15 of Berserk. We are finishing up deluxe volume 5 today, which is crazy. Last week we had the eclipse. And we started a new journey in which Guts has met Puck for the first time. So we're getting closer to merging those timelines all together. And I do really like that we're getting a callback to the moth demon that looked like an elf from the 1997 anime and from the Golden Age arc. And it feels like a little bit of closure if we get this demon taken care of. It feels like shutting a chapter and then tying back to the present. But we'll see if that's where it actually goes, because Miura has found a way throughout this story to kind of weave in these surprises where we think that the story is going a certain way and then it doesn't. So we'll just have to tie back and see about that. But like I said last week, was not able to look at volumes 12 and 13's comments, and there were quite a few, including an interview that was given to me. So I'm going to say first and foremost, this interview is going to be long. I'm sure somebody in the comments will timestamp when I actually start talking about volume 15. But I feel the need to go over these comments because a lot of them are addressing really cool things and things that I feel should be noted before we move on, especially tying to Griffith and things like that. So, Brick Ingle 3984, speaking of which, talks about how Griffith in volume 12, I questioned the moment that Guts reaches out to him, and Griffith's like, don't do that, don't reach out to me, because if you do, I will, and then he doesn't finish the sentence. And I genuinely was like, well, what do we think that means? And I kind of like Brick Ingle's version of it best, the way that they said this. They said the moment that Guts reaches for him, aka Griffith, is the moment that breaks the straw for Griffith. Griffith chooses his ego as motivation over his affection. And it's just that simple. And I think that knowing Miura is a good writer, knowing they are very, really competent and capable as a narrator, I felt like it was going to be more complex than that, but it really is just that simple. Griffith just chose his own selfishness and his own ego over the affection of others. And that's literally it. That's all there is to it. And I really like the way that was phrased. Moomin Comet talks about the God Hand, and some other people have noted this too, but they specifically gave the names from science fiction stories that the God Hand are based off of. So if you have time and you want to go read the stories the God Hand are based off of, here they are. Void, aka Mars Attacks, is based off of Destination Void by Frank Hebert. Slan is from the story Slan by A.E. Voke. Apparently there's a shoujo manga called Terra that is also influenced by this that I think is interesting. Ubik is based on Ubik by Philip K. Dick. What a pen name. And then Conrad is from, ironically, Don't Call Me Conrad, because I was like really obsessed with Conrad when we learned his name, which is a story from the This Immortal collection by Roger Zelensky. And then also Moomin talks about how Plato's theory of form is discussed in this perfected idea of something that only exists in another plane. God, I remember Plato and Aristotle from the rhetoric classes I took in college. I could go on a whole tangent, but we'll be here all day. So we're just gonna put that aside for now. But yes, I totally agree with that. And then I really liked the idea that they pointed out the god, lowercase g, in Berserk that we see in chapter 83 is related to Jack L. Chalker's Midnight at the Well of Souls. Now, Moomin talked about Casca's memory being affected back in volume 13, which I talked to at length. So I'm going to try not to flog the dead horse of Skull Knight with this, but they were talking about how Casca's memory loss, they were relating it to ideas currently of dementia and things like that, but it makes Casca a struggler of her own. And I do agree with that. It frustrates me to no end because it doesn't equate to Guts, right? Guts has in his struggle power. He has agency. Even though the God Hand tells him he has no strength, he kind of does because he can destroy the demons. It's kind of the God Hand trying to gaslight their way out of admitting their own weakness. But Guts has agency and he's able to move forward, whereas Casca is literally just spinning her wheels, staying in the same place, has to be locked up, and has no identity or agency of her own anymore. And it's very frustrating. And I know that a lot of the excuses for Miura is, oh, well, he was really young when he wrote this. And I'm like, yeah, but he got older. So I'm going to be very curious moving forward to see where we go with this. And I will say, last volume, I did note, I was rewatching it today, my discussion on it to kind of prep myself for this volume. And I did say that so far, the nameless female knight is the only female character that we haven't seen assaulted or violated in any way in the story. I am wrong. Erica is also the other female character that hasn't been violated in any way. But I hesitate to say that because I have a feeling that Miura is going to violate Erica and ruin her life with Rickard that they could have together, and I'm going to be infinitely sad. And so far, Erica and Nameless Female Knight are the only two female characters that have significance in this story that have not been assaulted or violated. Miura, come on now. Do me proud, son. You got to get better. You're getting older. You're getting more mature, right? I will tell you that I will stop bringing this topic up when Miura stops making it happen over and over again. So hopefully we'll just start this volume with a clean slate and go from there. Speaking of which, and also with the memory thing, I will say this, that one of Moomin's comments was that Casca isn't the main character of the story, so this can happen to her. I will bring up Monster by Urasawa for a hot second. So Monster spoilers if you have not read Monster. But in Monster, there is a character named Nina who suffers from very similar memory issues, but she is able in the story to move forward. She is able to move forward. She works through her memory loss. It's not the same, obviously, but she goes through trauma, works through memory loss that was induced by the trauma, finds her memories again, and is able to move forward and end up in a happy place as a human being. And it's very satisfying to see her end the story in a satisfying way and happy with herself and the woman that she's become. And I just don't think Miura is going to give us a happy ending with Casca. And I'm like, but I've seen stories that allow that to happen and it's still gratifying in a way. So it can be done. Just like it can happen. So we'll see where that goes with that. But I was thinking of Monster when I was writing that comment. I was like, yeah, no, but she goes through memory loss and is able to have agency and work through it. So why can't Casca? But I don't know. Urasawa, that's a whole nother discussion. But yeah, Emperor Gaiseric notes that the Skull Knight has unofficial fan names. I freaking love the Skull Knight so far, including Calcium Chan, which I live, and then Skull Daddy. Obviously, that one seems pretty obvious. But the thing that got me, that just made me like get giddy in my seat, was that his horse has a fan named Mr. Waffles. Mr. Waffles is freaking adorable, and I love it. I'm going to call his horse Mr. Waffles from now on. It's over. It's done. I love it. Calcium Chan and Mr. Waffles. Apparently somebody has made a fan comic of him just doing mundane things in reality, like grocery shopping. I live. When I am caught up with this manga, I will be searching for that first. The first thing I search for when I'm caught up with this manga will be the adventures of Mr. Waffles and Calcium Chan. I love it so much. So exciting. But that just made my day. So thank you, Emperor Gaiseric. That's amazing. Amir Almond pointed this out, and I'm so glad you pointed out now, Almond, now that the anime of 1997 is finished. But the narrator in the anime is the voice actor for Void, Mars Attacks. And I'm like, okay. And I love how Almond put this. They said Void is, in the previews, trying to convince us, the audience, to embrace evil, using philosophical views of humanity and evil to do so. And I'm like, yes, Void is trying to gaslight us, the audience, into becoming evil like Griffith. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I didn't watch a lot of the previews, going through the anime. When I had watched the episode, I would sometimes go back and watch the previous previews that Almond would send me in the comments on Patreon. So I've seen some of them, and I was like, I was kind of turned off at the time because some of the previews, I was like, this seems like he's trying to tell me that being evil is okay. Yes, that is exactly what is happening. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But it's very dangerous. And the reason why I get very strongly opinionated by some of the things that Miura puts out is because one of Miura's themes is how humanity is easily manipulated and how their views are molded so easily. So when Miura presents imagery that is to me, controversial in a bad way. I'm like, but Miura, you are self-aware of how humanity is in your storytelling. So when you put this stuff out there, I'm like, you know that this has impact. And so I'm like, Miura, it's very much like Isayama with Attack on Titan, where Isayama clearly is doing like a social experiment with that series. And that's all I will say. But I do hold Miura to a higher standard because Miura seems very aware of how manipulative audiences are. And some people pick up on this and some do not. And I'm like, Miura. But anyway, speaking of which, Ridasante noted that in chapter 83, which I feel chapter 83 is going to be a chapter I will call back on throughout this series, not only because it's the famous, chapter we avoid, but because I want to keep like checking in with the story to see why Miura didn't want it present. I don't want to know everyone's thoughts on why they don't think it's present or why Miura has backtracked on it until I'm finished with the manga, only because I have a feeling, my personal theory is there's going to be stuff revealed about Griffith in the storytelling later that might retcon chapter 83, but I don't know that yet. We're gonna get to it. It just may take us some time. So we'll be tying back to that chapter a lot, I feel. But I love the way that Ridasante in volume 13's comments phrased this. Talking about the do you want that the god says to Griffith is basically what Griffith said to everyone. And the idea that want equals desire, and it's about giving in to desire. Griffith's words can easily morph into giving into your desires or temptation. And if you don't, I like how Ridasante put this, if you don't have anything solid on the other side to keep your ego in check, like the affection of someone, like for example, the Count was able to resist his desire for power because his daughter, as creepy as it was, his daughter was the solid thing keeping his ego in check. Case in point. If you don't have that, and Griffith for a while had the Band of the Hawk and his desire to become king to keep that in check, and then it crumbled. If you don't have that, the scales are imbalanced, and it creates this vicious cycle of perpetuating the idea of evil. When humans' base desires reign absolute, only a god of ego or evil exists. And the line, and I like the way that they said the line between individual freedom and egotistical evil is central in Berserk. Yeah, I absolutely think so. I think that a lot of this is like the idea of free will, the idea of our own freedoms, or the idea that we give into evil. Like where do we draw the line? How fragile that line is very central to Berserk. I was also thinking about this too. This isn't anybody's comment in particular, but rewatching volume 14, the idea of the Dragon Slayer sword, it connects to me the idea, we've just had the movie Oppenheimer come out in the last year, and I feel like with its tie to Japan, it's pretty relevant. But the idea of the Dragon Slayer being a device that Goto created that he instantly was like, I have to go into hiding because of this. And I called it his magnum opus in the last volume, and then I was thinking about it and I was like, ooh, that's, think of Oppenheimer, and I'm like, yeah, this creation that suddenly you were like, this is too much. This is a creation that shouldn't exist. And I like the way that they describe it as dragons being what we make of things that humanity can't beat. And to me, it was connecting to the idea that we justify sometimes the violence we enact against other people because we label them as monsters. We label them as things that humanity can't solve. And so the only way to beat them is through this weapon that shouldn't exist. And it's like, That's getting into some really touchy and real scenarios, and Miura kind of waters it down. And Miura may not have even realized they were making that connection, but to me, I was like, this is the watered down version of that. And for Guts, it's justifiable, but then when you think a little bit beyond that, you start to get into some territories of, or we're calling our enemies dragons and monsters because we can't beat them, and this makes them less than human to beat them, and it's like, it gets a little hairy, right? And so finally, I know this intro is taking forever, but it's going to be because Dogon Me shared this interview. They shared this interview and in their comment, and I want to kind of go through this interview. I haven't read all of this interview, so we're going to talk about it before starting volume 15, so bear with me because I feel like since we're ending the Golden Age arc and going into new things, we probably should do that. But they said, Dogon Me said, I don't know if it's a spoiler since we are done with the Band of the Hawk, the group, sadly. I wanted to show the inspiration behind them, not to enforce any feelings, as inspiration and personal takes from the story are different things to me. Understandable. Of course, the moderators will probably check if this is a good idea. They said it was fine, so we're going to read it. They said it was cool. These are parts of various interviews. I removed any spoilers past the golden age. Thank you. The sources are Berserk, the official guidebook interview from 2017, the Berserk DVD 3 Region 1 interview from 2002, the interview with Yukari Fujimoto from 2000, the Berserk illustrations file interview from 1996, taken from the Berserk wiki. Miura likes to talk about his friends. So the only other interview I've looked at was from 2019, or 2020. So these are a little bit older, but still relevant. So the interviewer says, did you learn anything such as structuring, paneling all by yourself? Miura says, yes, I learned many things through trial and error in the 5 friends group. I had no mentor. For somebody that had no mentor to do this manga is insanity. So Miura's kind of a genius to do this, because this, some people get taught for years and still can't do this caliber of illustration and narrative planning and things like that. So Miura's kind of a prodigy. I don't know if they realized it, but yeah. Interviewer, do you mean that your childhood dream or hobby eventually directed you to becoming a professional mangaka? Miura says, it was after I entered high school. Before that, I only focused on visuals and I felt like drawing manga or pictures. So I had an ability to draw, but I wasn't zealous in building a story. In an art class at my high school, I made close friends with all those who were interested in movies or music. However, I got to realize there was some kind of emptiness in me in getting along with them. Meanwhile, I was one of a group of 5 friends, the God Hand, whose goal was to be a mangaka. All of them had their own specialty other than drawing manga, like playing the guitar, for example. We influenced and introduced each other, saying things like, the ongoing movie is enjoyable, or it's good to read this book. Otherwise, you won't be able to be a mangaka. This represented how well the group was. There was a thing that today's high school students can't understand. Back in my days, friends were also kind of rivals. So I wanted to look great to others. What should I do to look great? I had to watch movies and read books. Repeating this, I learned that manga isn't only about drawing. I acquired the ability to conceive a story while I was a university student. Precisely speaking, when I entered for a prize in my university days. I kind of like this a little bit because it gives a little insight into not only the discussion of rivals between Griffith and Guts, but also this idea of, I feel like a lot of mangaka I've read interviews for really developed their passion in high school when they were kind of in this more competitive environment. It wasn't just like elementary school and we're drawing for fun. It becomes more competitive in high school. So I like that Miura kind of draws upon that, which is interesting. Interviewer, we often talk about the design inspired by your monsters or the level of detail in your settings, but rarely about your human characters, who are very diverse and expressive. How do you conceive their faces? Miura says, until the first episodes of the Band of the Falcon, or Band of the Hawk, I created my characters by exaggerating the features of my own friends and acquaintances, which naturally made them alive, even if I didn't develop them. But this technique inevitably ends up showing its limits when you are a mangaka, because a mangaka's job is to sit at his desk without the possibility of expanding his human relations. Later on, I was forced to create characters from scratch. I sometimes took myself as a role model, but what I like to do is to arrange the characters around the hero Guts in order to show him the different ways. When we observe Guts facing Griffith, we feel that he is slightly inferior, that he must look up to Griffith. He then appears as a rival. Interviewer says, getting back to the topic of planning Berserk though, there's a long flashback arc that starts in volume 3, showing things like Guts' youth and leading up to the eclipse. Did you at least have parts of that long story in mind when you started drawing, or did you just make it up as you go? Miura says, back then it was more like I was making it up as I went, I'd say. I actually hadn't planned for Guts and Casca to get together, Ha! It just occurred to me part way through that it'd be more dramatic that way. As I remember it now, all I'd really decided on at the time was that there would be 5 characters, and I'd make them similar to 5 of my friends. Okay, so you have the 5 of the God Hand, and then you also have the 5 of the Band of the Hawk. All right. Interviewer, I see. So the 5 friends are the base model for those characters. Miura says pretty much. The only difference is there aren't any Griffiths or Guts in our group. There really was a guy similar to Judo. We had a Corcus too, and a Rickert. There's no Casca, though, since it was a group of guys. and then Pippin is me in terms of physical appearance. Oh, that also kind of makes a lot of sense too, because a lot of times I think that speaks a lot for Miura's personality, because sometimes when authors do self-insert characters, I think of M. Night Shyamalan. M. Night Shyamalan has inserted themselves into movies, and they're kind of like, I don't know how to describe them. It's not pretentious, but they're kind of like, kind of a good character that stands out. Here, I think it says a lot for Miura and how humbling they are that they made themselves Pippin, who fades into the background so easily, but they're there. I think that's interesting. Yeah. Although the one friend that finds out they're the Corcus, I'd be like, oh, like the friend group's like, I'm Rickard from that. I'm Judo. And the one guy's like, am I Corcus? That's great. Ah, I see, the interviewer says. All right. Miura says the Yellow Ranger, basically. Oh my God. I'm pretty sure that was the role I played. On the inside, though, and maybe manga artists tend to idealize themselves, but I would have Guts-like thoughts or Griffith-like thoughts. Manga is a funny thing. Rather than taking base models and inserting them into your manga unchanged, you can do things like break the models up and rearrange them and their different parts into all sorts of strange things. Interviewer, what exactly do you mean when you say thoughts like Guts or Griffith? Miura says, so for example, in terms of manga, I was head and shoulders above everyone in terms of drawing, but at the same time, I looked up to the guy who used to act as the leader. He was very much like Griffith in terms of ability. He was the type who put his money where his mouth was, and he even had a bit of that touch of the divine feel to him. In terms of violence, though, I'd say he was very much like Guts. He would go out and get into fights every day and then come to my house afterwards and say, all right, let's draw some manga. Oh my God, what a rough crowd, Miura. And then he'd go to his part-time job the next day, sleep deprived. He was a wonder. So in order to keep up with him, I felt like I needed some sort of trick of my own. So I decided to work hard on my drawing manga. Later on, though, I would find out that he apparently used to act violently the way he did because he was amazed by my ability at the manga. Oh my God, this is just exactly like Guts and Griffith. Interesting. So then in university, he gave up becoming a manga artist, and he decided he'll do things the rest of us will be jealous of. Sleep with hundreds of girls, get hired into a first-rate company, that sort of thing. And he manages to pull it off. Then he becomes an illustrator, and he starts pulling in tens of millions of yen a year while he's still in his 20s. But it's still manga that he wants to do. So in the end, he throws it all away and starts from square one in the manga industry. I'm like, who is this mangaka? I'm like, who is this? Who are you talking about? What is this? This Playboy manga artist. Interviewer says, wow, that's an amazing story. Miura said, see? So up until this point, he's Griffith. But then from there, he starts to fall and re-examines what he really wants to do. And in a sense, that makes him Guts, right? Maybe Griffith and Guts are symptoms that affect boys. When a boy seriously tries to do something, he becomes either one or the other. Interesting, the interviewer says. So you're saying that you have both of them inside of you? And Miura says, they're both here. When things start going well, Griffith starts sprouting up. If Berserk were to start to slip and fall, I'd probably go back to Guts. Anyone trying to build up something experiences both sides, I suspect. This is something I only realized talking about it now. Well, Guts' friends in the Band of the Hawk are actually based on my friends from college, but there wasn't anybody in particular for Guts or Griffith. The interviewer says, does that mean rather than delving into his mind, you thought about where things would lead? Miura says, yes. At first I envisioned Guts as a hero who can get angry, like Max in Mad Max, or Kenshiro in Fist of the North Star. I could definitely see the Mad Max reference. I focused on how to make him angry, how to make him get revenge, and how to effectively display his appearance and gimmicks. And what resulted after that struggle was the original Black Swordsman. At that point, there was no Band of the Hawk or anything. So the shift from the Black Swordsman to the Golden Age, the interviewer says, and so the Black Swordsman fights unfold for 2 or 3 volumes. Miura says, I realized with the Slug Baron that as I was making a story about Guts defeating monsters, the monsters were becoming steadily more human. When a monster's flashback scene happens, he looks like a pitiful human, and Guts, on the other hand, looks steadily more like a monster. Then when the monster is defeated, their feelings mingle, and that giant sword comes swinging down. It felt like some amazing catharsis. Thus, I did establish the fixed flow of the Black Swordsman, but right about that time, I decided that Animal House, the magazine that was serializing the story, was no longer going to be published. Oh my gosh, I was going to have to go back to square one. The interviewer says, it's like now, not now when things are just getting going. So the Golden Age arc was explored as a result. Miura says, no matter how fully formed the character of Guts was in my mind, this was a newcomer's manga, and it wasn't going to live up to the Mount Bronson's established reputation. I also like girls manga, so I thought about changing my approach by taking the stories from sad, painful human relations and emotions. Until then, I'd been charging down the Fist of the North Star route, but that made it much harder to contend with the original himself, Mr. Bronson. It was a good opportunity, so I thought I'd switch weapons and come at it from the angle of The Rose of Versailles by Kyoko Ikeda and Kaze no Ki no Uda by Kiko Takemiya. This was as new ground for me, and I figured I could put people around me in the story as well as memories from my youth. I like that they were like, okay, I have this approach with Guts. My manga publication is ending. I'm switching gears, so I'm going to have this flashback arc kind of as a revitalization of it. That's pretty cool. Interviewer, you mean using the people in your daily life as models? Miura says, I didn't especially have any teachers when it comes to manga, so I didn't know what was proper. I had always been under the impression that a manga artist dreams up things that don't exist in reality. So I tried it, and I realized it was proper. I was incorporating my own experiences and those close to me, so naturally there'd be a feeling there, and the lies would evaporate. I think the Golden Age arc went well that way, and whenever I combine reality with imagination, I don't view my own circumstances as being all that dramatic, so I suppose I was able to strike a good balance. I would do things like taking my high school manga buddies and dropping them into a mercenary band led by a guy who's working towards some goal, but while I'm happy that it went well, the purpose of this arc was to give Guts a reason for revenge. So it occurred to me I'd made a bunch of really great characters and they were all going to die. The interviewer, so you knew from the start how it was going to end. Miura says, I knew the eclipse was coming, and so there truly was nowhere to run. Also, there's a reason I made the Golden Age arc as long as it was. I felt dissatisfied with the so-called flashback scenes in a number of works. It's typical to stick flashbacks in just as a short break in order to maintain the pace of a story, but I wanted to potently feel from the bottom of my heart the reason for Guts' revenge and the basis of his character development. If the flashback only lasts a short time, it runs the risk of merely amounting to information. Since I'm the one drawing it, I needed to make it more of a story you can invest in emotionally, and that's how it ended up being so long. That makes sense. I really like that. Interviewer, but it's because this happened to Guts' anger that it comes through sufficiently. Miura, I had to make something that the readers would accept was enough to make anybody angry. Because of that, it came down to how dramatically and naturally I could depict Guts as fully forming his precious bonds with people. For the relationships between Guts and Griffith, I'm using myself and my close friend and fellow manga artist Koji Mori, Suicide Island, etc., as a model. Which one of us is Guts and which is Griffith switches from time to time, but I think it serves as a symbol of male friendship. Aw, that's kind of cute. Interviewer, you put so much emotion into those characters, and when the eclipse happens, they're all gone. That must have left some scars on you as the artist. Miura says, I was emotionally invested in each character, so I felt more depressed than scarred. As the story went way down in popularity, with the readers around the time of the eclipse. Many readers were furious that I'd do such a thing to the characters they liked. My editor at the time was concerned, but also of the opinion that we just have to follow through to the end. The point I had to pay attention to was making sure the flow of the story wasn't completely severed with the eclipse. It continues, but that might also be a spoiler. Yeah, so that is interesting. Very curious because Miura and his friendship with Koji Mori, I mean, I personally am in the camp of thinking that Guts may or may not have had romantic feelings for Griffith, but Griffith definitely had romantic feelings for Guts, so it's like, who is who? They're just good friends. That's all we're going to say. Yep. Dogonmi then says that there is an interview from a Berserk fandom magazine where young men and boys are saying that most people who didn't like the eclipse with Casca were women. Can't imagine why if that was the case. And they're saying stuff, but it's not in Miura's words, so I'm glad they don't include that because, yeah, if it's not Miura's words, I don't really care. they also, Dogon Me says, some people take these as words of Miura, such as the fandoms outside of Japan, as the translation may be more or less accurate. But during the talk, some people claim that they had a dinner with Miura and they asked if Casca enjoyed the stuff in the eclipse. And I'm like, why would you ask Miura that? My thing with what Dogon Me does say, though, is they're like, Miura, the only thing they said in that interview, that fandom interview, was, quote unquote, even without considering the God Hand, I thought Casca would feel that way if the perpetrator were Griffith. Now, Dogon Me does say that this interview was retold by someone else. It's not official, and it's not, a popular piece in the fandom. I guess for me, before we start volume 15, my thing would be, I wish that Miura would just come out and have said that it, Casca wasn't having a good time. It wasn't maybe the best way to depict it. But again, I told Moomin in my comment to them as we're nearing 30 minutes into this, before you even start the volume. My thing is, I'll drop it. I will not get upset about the violation of women in this story as long as Miura stops violating them. And I know that it seems it seems hypocritical for me to say, well, if men were assaulted in this series, it would not be such a big deal. And that seems so hypocritical and so wrong. And it is wrong. There shouldn't be any assault at all. But a lot of the comments have been, well, this is a dark fantasy. Bad things happen. And I'm like, that is true. There's a lot of murder in this series, a lot of crazy violence. But as far as the assault, it is very one-sided and it is not equitable. And that is problematic to me just because of the impact. And somebody was trying to say in comments several volumes ago, they're like, well, when you play Grand Theft Auto, people run over people all the time and steal cars, but you don't see them doing that in real life. And I'm like, true. Whenever people pull the nails out of somebody, you don't really see people pulling out each other's fingernails, but women do get assaulted nearly every day. So, like I said, if Miura just stops assaulting women in this series and lets us have strong female characters that have arcs and are allowed to walk away scot-free, sure. But the thing about Berserk is nobody walks away scot-free, right? But I do think that most of the male characters just die. They aren't tortured or violated before they die. So there is a little bit of a skewed ratio there. But again, I'm going to stop talking about it. And until Miura gives us another instance of it, we'll just let it go. So with that being said, I am excited to dive into this final volume. I want to see what happens with this moth demon. How does Guts and Puck take care of it? Is Jill going to be okay? I hope she is. So I got Whiteboard Coon behind me. Let's dive in. We're going to start volume 15 of Berserk finally. And we're going to adjust the camera and do that here in 3, 2, 1. Okay. In that prototype, Guts here has this interesting, it looks like these beetles are attacking him. So I'm like, are these moths going to transform into beetles? I don't know. We're going to find out. All right, we're going to ignore the table of contents. I'm not reading the table of contents, but I am looking at moth booty, moth pecs, little tiny moths, and the brand that is bleeding with Guts and Guts sweating there. All right. The Conviction Arc, Lost Children chapter, Queen. She's a killer queen. Yep, there we go. You're really strong, mister, even though you're human. How come? I like that Puck's like, that's an elf. Puck's like, bitches, that ain't no elf. I'm no bee, I'm an elf, so they say. Uh-huh. And you're like, playing elf maybe, you insect scourge. Oh, that was mean. Did you all hear that? What should we do? He's a lying grown-up. He's a liar. We'll always get the grown-ups. Are they children? Ew. Did this moth turn human children into creepy bugs? Oh my God, that's why they wanted Rickert. Were they trying to lure Rickert away and turn them into little demon bugs? Oh my God, and the Skull Knight saved him? Oh my God, nope. Nope. Is that why they wanted the kid? Oh, wait, Guts, time out. Oh my God. Oh my God, if this moth's been turning human children into demons. Wait. That would explain the lost children. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh shit. There was Guts' arm. Shipment get lost, you. Time out. I said quit fighting them. They're not elves. They're children. Oh, Puck. Or are they the souls of children? Oh my God. Are we going to bring up Guts and Casca's kid? Are we going to... What are we doing? No. Oh no. What? Oh, they're human children. The way they move and act. I can feel it in their thoughts. Oh. Peacoff, the outcast. Peacoff? Peacoff gets punished along with the humans. Oh my God. I love that Puck's like, what are you calling? Why are you calling me this? I'm not this. Oh. What? Rosine. It's you, isn't it? What? How does Jill know this? What is happening? How does Jill know this demon? What is going on? Oh my God. Rosine. Oh, and they know her. Oh. I get like a vibe of, okay, so Jill knowing Rosine, who is now this moth demon, I get the idea of like a Guts and Griffith type dynamic in the panels where they're looking at each other. And I also get the idea of the Count. So the Count became a demon because of their desires. So maybe Rosine became this demon moth because of their desires, and they're turning little children into demon moths along with that. Okay. I want answers. Show. Oh no, Guts! She's poisonous. It's her dust. I was clumsy, damn it. Oh, can you stand? You can beat him now, kiddo. My cattle barn, the winter provisions. Oh, damn it. It was you, wasn't it? You did this. Thomas, you use Thomas like that. Have you no humanity? Oh my God, have you no humanity? Oh no, we're pissing them off again, especially the housewives. Like the Puck's like, don't get them housewives riled up. They'll get a TV show started, and then it'll just be all downhill from there. It's because Guts goes so nuts. Guts goes nuts is a phrase. Oh, poor Guts. Him laughing. Again, Guts' defense mechanism is to drive people away from him. Oh. When this kid ran out, did even one of you unlock your door? He's like, yeah. He's like, did any of you try to save this kid since you're being so hypocritical and high and mighty? Oh, hand those children over to us. Jill, hurry up and come over. Oh, Jill. I feel bad for Jill because I think she knows exactly what Guts is talking about and how they are being hypocritical and blaming him and scapegoating him for everything when they were being attacked. And now that they're safe, now they come out and get on to him. I think Jill understands the hypocrisy. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, my God. The bugs changed back into children. Miura is just like, how can I make this more disturbing? I feel like Miura just sits in a dark room and thought for hours being like, what's the worst thing I could do and get away with? Bugs that become dead children. Yes, that'll work. I was like, no! Oh my God. Oh, change of plan. How about you step aside? Oh my God. Shit. Elf fire. Oh, why are we using Jill? Why are we using Jill? Come on, Guts. What we doing? Oh, Guts. Oh, wait a minute. I like the change of font there with Puck. What are you thinking? You're pissing them off even more here. Quit rubbing them all the wrong way. Oh no. And then Puck's like, oh no, everything's gone all wrong. Like the Puck's like, I'm trying to help and it's making it worse. Everyone, please stand back. He's wounded, so it'd be really dangerous to approach him. I like that Jill's like going along with it. Like, I feel like Jill kind of wanted to go along anyway. And so she's not fighting at all. And then this guy coming through with the axe. And Guts grabbing it, being like, give it up. My body's going numb and I don't know when I'll lose control. You brute. Oh, and of course the mom passes out. Oh, Puck. Oh, evil. This has turned into the least of all available evils. Oh no, Puck. And the dad. Okay. And I love Puck going, why? Why? That is me. Again, I am Puck. I would be sitting there just flailing my arms going, why? All the time. Any reaction Puck has in this series is me internally, if I'm not telling you all, right? I'm very curious. We talked about Monster earlier about this dad, and if is the dad going to try and help Jill despite him being a bad person? I don't like that Guts draws blood on her, but he drew blood because he was trying to also stop the axe as well. Oof. Yikes. Okay, far enough. You go on home. Okay. Just go on home. You put a knife to a girl's throat. She's bleeding, ain't she? You know I oughta. I loved it. I love Puck has fists of fury. I'm like, yes, Puck. Yes. And Guts just like, yeah. And now she ain't. See ya. Oh, he just sprinkled the dust on her. I love that he just takes Puck and just sprinkles it. Which was a very phallic gesture, so you know. And we still see the brand on his neck. Sorry about all that. He was just using her so that he could get out of there, essentially. She's like, are you going to the Misty Valley? I'm going to go. That girl, the big elf. She was my friend who vanished a long time ago. Okay. And he's like, what's going to happen? As you saw, she's not human anymore. I'm going to go kill that friend of yours. And if you come, what's going to happen? This ain't some kiddie game. I feel like Guts can relate to Jill in this moment because he's like, oh, your friend from long ago has turned into a demon. They're not human anymore. I understand. My friend turned into a demon and is not human anymore either. But I think Guts is like, on the one hand, he's trying to spare her from seeing how truly evil her friend has become because Guts has gone through that and Guts has seen how evil Femto is and it completely ruined his vision of Griffith from long ago. And so he's like, you have this decent vision of your friend Rosaline, probably. I really don't think you want to see what she's become. So he's trying to say, you need to go back home. Let me take care of it. You don't need to see this. And she's convinced that she does. And he's like, this ain't a game. You're not going to like how this ends out. He's going then, isn't it, the end? Will it begin again the way things are? Nothing changes. Nothing ever happens like it's always been. I like that Jill is being like, look, if you go kill this demon, it still doesn't solve anything. I like that Jill's kind of running through the idealistic scenario of, hey, things are always going to be the same as they always were. Someone needs to change this. But the problem with Berserk is, like, again, I talked a little bit about Attack on Titan earlier and how Isayama has been inspired by Miura. In Attack on Titan, and this doesn't really spoil anything, I won't talk about specific plot stuff, but a big theme of Attack on Titan is the idea of human relations. And, you know, nothing changes as long as we further the cycle of violence. But the thing about Attack on Titan is at the end of the day, they are human. That's the deal. With Berserk, they've literally become these supernatural demons that are no longer human inside. So, or are they? Or are they? Or are they? Is Jill suggesting that inside they are human? Have they not completely lost themselves and lost their humanity completely? Rosaline did react to Jill and leave, so maybe. I feel like this will end horribly for Jill if she follows him, but I respect Jill for having this wanting of idealism. Look at you, unbelievable. Why you gotta go say those things? A grown man talking all unpleasant to a tender girl. She gives you shelter and food and you repair like that. Don't do those things. Teach the youth. I am Puck. Teach the youth. Oh, come on, let me see your wound. I love Puck being like, oh, yeah, hey, that does it. What the hell's your problem? I'm going to say this once. I got no recollection of making you my pet, so quit buzzing around me. I'm sick of it. Puck's like, I'm not a pet, though. He's like, hey, it's got to be said. Without me, this story'd be way too dark. You got to have color in your life. Miura being so self-reflective and meta in this moment, being like, hey, this story'd be way too dark if I wasn't in it. It's like, yes. Oh, Puck, you are one of the reasons I'm still reading this story, so you are correct. Oh my goodness. Oh, I thought I told you before. Seeing elves makes me want to vomit. Makes me want to crush them. Well, don't think that you can web forever. I can at least take a finger down with me. One man, one kill. I feel like Guts wants to deny that such happiness and love can exist because he feels so lost. So the idea of Puck fighting back and being so resilient despite being so small and seeming so powerless, I think is a constant reminder to Guts of how he actually is in the story. And so Guts doesn't like seeing this constant reminder of his own frailty. So he's just like, get out of here. And Puck's like, no, I'm not going to give up. And it reminds Guts that that's exactly how he is. So it's like Puck is literally Guts looking in a mirror constantly. And that's why he doesn't want him around. He's like, oh, sure, had enough, eh? Come get some more. I like that we see for scale how tiny Puck is with the ladybug, like a hat on their head. See if I care. But then there's Jill, right? I'm like, Guts, I would let Puck heal you because you're poisoned. Would have let him do that, right? As you're sitting there against the fire. Oh, well, damn it. Yeah, and that too. Ugh. What the fudge? Him seeing on the one hand, it's like him seeing all the children dying obviously is affecting Guts in a negative way. But look, I have a couple things to say about this snake eating scene. A couple things to say. I don't know if snake blood is supposed to cure poison. If that's supposed to be the case, I don't think it serves the same purpose of water. I'm no shaman. I'm no medicine woman. But also, I'm just going to say, Guts eating the snake like a banana. That's my mind in the gutter moment for this volume. You've had it. Now you're good. Now you'll never unsee it. Ha ha! So yes. But yeah, he's lost too much blood. And on top of that, the poison and the weariness. And he has coca leaves to hopefully help. I'm like, is snake blood supposed to help with poison? It's going to be a long night. Ah, shit. And then there's, ew! Is that his demon baby? Is that his demon baby in the flames? That only has the one eye, the same as Guts? Is that his demon baby? Oh no, there's a lot of demon children. Well, shit. Crap. Lost children indeed. Uh-oh. Was it you? Did you drag them here? Oh my god. The red-eyed Peacoff. Shit, is that Guts' baby that drug the lost children's souls to him? Oh my god. No. Meanwhile, Jill and Puck coming after him, of course. Oh, shit. I feel so much for Guts. Like, you can see how much, like, the shadows under his eyes and everything. And how he just looks so horrible having to, like, attack these baby children. Oh. And then, of course, him, like, vomiting more blood. Oh, and these kids. What's so crazy is that Miura drawing the children in the skulls and everything, some of them start to regain some of their features and look more childlike and cute. And that makes it even creepier. Bastard. Oh. You really know how to get under my skin. You'd make me babysit brats all night while I puked up this blood. Fair enough. If it takes me all night to cough this stuff up, at least I'll be able to sleep like a log come morning. I guess it was the blood and stuff supposed to like make him vomit it back up like bad blood. I think of Chinese fantasy where they like you cough up bad blood and it gets the evil out of your system. Puck, wah, with the wolf howling. No sweat, no beast will ever attack you if you're with an elf. Oh my gosh. Is he really an elf or just some shady creature? Idiot response. This heading. Puck is not a shady creature. You know, even if you are with me, ain't it bad news for a girl to be out this late? Ain't it bad news for a girl to be in this story? Besides, they're not elves. They're dangerous like monsters. Guts being how he is, you can't depend on him. It's not like that queen's going to become human again if you go to her. You might regret this. I'm sure I would regret it. Whether I followed him after this way or I'd gone back to the village, either way, I'll have regrets. Yeah. Right now, I've already come this far. Yeah, I'm like, she's kind of like, I'm at, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I'm going to regret it if I go see my friend who's become a demon. I'm going to regret it. But then if I go back to that village and act like nothing happened, I'm still going to regret it. So it's like, you're already this far. It's like, might as well. But I'm like, I have a feeling Jill's going to die. And I hate that because I love the way Miura draws her. And I like her character so far and how she's come. And I feel like Miura's just going to make this end horribly and violently because why wouldn't we? And so, oh, damn it. Oh, Guts fighting these. Guts has gone from the Golden Age arc fighting all these grown men soldiers to fighting fiery demon baby spirits. I didn't think I would ever utter that phrase in Berserk, but I guess I shouldn't have been surprised. Oh my God. And I just feel for Guts because Miura tortures him so much. And it's like him like having to kill these baby spirits. It's like having to do the most monstrous, horrible things for the sake of moving forward so he doesn't go to hell. It's like, oh, Guts. He's totally gone. Ugh. I'm glad she recognizes it. Or no, that's Puck. Oh shit. They're like, oh no, not the baby. Oh my God. Oh, but he stops to protect her. Oh my God. Guts stops to protect her and then gets attacked by the babies. Nothing good happens to Guts. Why? Why is he being so tortured? Miura. He stopped to protect her. Damn it. Oh. And then in true Casca fashion, he falls off the cliff. Oh. Oh. I'm surprised that his head was not, like, crushed in that moment. Oh, no, but he's bleeding. Is the bug with you? Bug's like, yes. Sprinkle dust on me. I hurt myself on the rock and I can't move. Not the poison. It's fine. Peacoff. What is Peacoff? Oh, Peacoff the outcast. All the kids around here know about that. It's a fairy tale. Long ago in a village, there was a boy named Peacoff with pointed ears and red eyes. His parents loved him. So is he like albino, I guess? His parents loved him very much. But he was always bullied by the village children because of his eyes and his ears. They called him the red-eyed Peacoff and pointy-eared Peacoff. Peacoff thought, this isn't my home. These people aren't my real friends or my real parents. I love that as she's telling this story, Puck is just getting shaken over Guts like a salt shaker. Because neither Peacoff's father nor mother, nor even one person in the whole village had red eyes or pointed ears the way he did. One night, Peacoff snuck out of his house without his parents knowing. He went to find his real parents and his own real world in which to live. He made his way alone in the forest, where elves were said to live and where grown-ups said never to go. And Peacoff found them. They had red eyes and pointed ears. They certainly were the same as him. But this is what they said to the overjoyed Peacoff. You're one of us? No, not true. You haven't wings to ride upon the wind like we do. Seeing Peacoff's confusion, one of them informed him of something. Long ago, A human man and woman brought a baby here who was close to death from illness. We have broken the law of our village and entered the forest to save this child. This child is our life. Please somehow save him, the man and woman pleaded desperately. They granted the request using magic on the baby. The baby's life was saved, but in exchange, his appearance was altered to resemble the elves. Even so, the man and woman cried tears of joy. It only mattered that their child lived. When Peacoff heard this, he ran in great haste. With tears in his eyes, he went swiftly back the way he came. But when Peacoff returned to his house, it was too late. On top of a small hill between the village where he no longer knew a single person, and the elf forest where no human was allowed to live, for some strange reason, even though he'd only been in the forest for a few moments, in the village 100 years had passed. Peacoff the outcast cried and cried, and his red eyes swollen even redder. That's not much of a happy ending. No, it's basically like by the time he realized, again, a big theme of this story, like we talked about in the intro, a big theme of the story is, realizing what you had, only realizing what you had until it's gone, right? And regret and not realizing to savor the moments in those relationships for what they were, but instead desiring to know more about them and realizing, oh shit, I had it good. Why didn't I take advantage of that? Gee, it's not a theme that Guts could relate to in any possible way. But yeah, she's like, Rosine loved that story. That's so good. I love that. In fact, she once told me I'm just like Peacoff. So yeah. So she felt like an outcast. But I like the idea of once you realize the good that you had, you can't go back and it's too late to make those amends. Rosine was a girl 4 years older than me who lived across the street. To me, an only child, she was like a real big sister. The recollected girl. She was like a sister. She's so pretty. Rosine was a little strange. She liked playing in the woods and streams like a boy would, and she'd do things like catch bugs and small animals to proudly show me. She had lots of junk, the kind boys would consider treasures. Oh my God, she had a freaking behelit! Of course, so she could become a demon. The oddest of all was an egg-shaped stone that looked like a human face. She said she found it in a riverbank, and she always took good care of it. Oh my God. We play in the woods and streams so long that suddenly the sun would start to set. That kind of thing happened often. Oh my God. I just eclipse scenario flashbacks all over again. But when I think about it now, it was because Rosine avoided going home. I didn't understand because I was so young. But Rosine's parents fought a lot, and she was always the reason. She'd often have bruises on her cheeks and arms, and at times she'd always tell me, Jill, the story of Peacoff isn't really right. In the real Peacoff story, it turns out that he really is an elf. Even now, he lives happily with his real father and mother in the land of the elves. And to tell the truth, I'm just like Peacoff. I really belong in their land, too. She turned to me as I looked serious and impressed and grinned in a funny way, like she was forcing herself to be cheerful. So yeah, I mean, I understand Rosine's desire that because of her bad home life, she's like, well, I really just need to be in a place where I belong, and this isn't it. So she tailors that story to be like, no, the kid actually was an elf, and they're with their real family now. Like, she just wants to escape this abusive home life and go somewhere else. I will say, though, I collected a lot of stuff like Rosine did as a kid. I don't know if that would be a thing that boys do only, but it is I do think the idea that she gets a behelit. I heard about this later on. Before I was born, my village got wrapped up in a big conflict. At the time, almost all the villagers had taken refuge in the forest and were safe, but it seems not all the women escaped in time. Among them were Rosine's mother. Oh, so she was assaulted. Awesome. Cool. Rosine had to grow up listening to her father's remarks. That maybe Rosine is that girl really my daughter? Then one night when it was raining heavily, Rosine, Jill, this is goodbye. I'm leaving. Goodbye? Where are you going? Where else would I go? The Mist Valley. I'm going to the land of the elves. Farewell, Jill. I'll leave all my treasures to you. Rosine, farewell. Oh my God. And you can see her Her dress is ripped, like she's been assaulted. And she was like, that's it. I'm going. The grown-ups searched for the forest and the mountains looking for days for Rosine, but in the end they weren't able to find her. Then, oddly enough, a few days later, her parents also vanished from the village, almost like they had followed her. There was a wooden box with all the treasures Rosine said were mine now, but looking through it, the strange stone that I thought I couldn't find. The only thing I couldn't find was the strange stone. The Behelit, yep. And then sometimes afterwards, those elves started attacking the villages. I really didn't understand being so young, but now I feel like I do a bit, how Rosine felt then. So the stranger thing Rosine had, was it like this? Yeah, because guess has the Behelit from the Fief Lord. Oh, yes, it's the same as hers. What is that? A freeloader at my place and my body pillow, Betchy. What? Betchy, the Behelit. I say, totally settled in. Oh my God. Puck has named it. It's his body pillow. Oh my God. It's a magic stone. Bring back my Betchy. Bring back my Betchy. A magic stone that summons angels who grant powers to weak little humans. Angels? They might just be demons disguised, but something like that. I like that Guts calls it both. He doesn't immediately say, oh, they're demons. He says, oh, well, they're supposedly angels, but they could just be demons in disguise. And they grant humans powers for their desires. Yep. Good. I like that Puck has named Betchy the Behelit. Even though I need to get Betchy the Behelit. Even though I don't get how you use this to even though I don't get how you use this to summon them, your friend ended up doing it. And she obtained that pseudo-elf form in exchange for something. Something. Funny that you mentioned fairy tales. It's just like Peacoff's ears and eyes. You got to have some collateral for stuff like that. They require a sacrifice. They tell you to present what's most important to you in return for power. Guts. Puck's like, come on, Guts. But yeah, he's like, a few days later, the parents vanished, you said. Yeah, so she sacrificed the parents to get power. Rosine offered them up to have her own wish granted, her own parents' lives as sacrifices. And he knows all too well what that's like. Let's put an end to this. This ain't some kid's fairy tale like Peacoff, which explains now on the last volume, the Rosine said, this is just like a children's fairy tale. That's all explained now. It's a gruesome, grown-up fairy tale. And if you stick your neck out any further, you're going to end up dead. Next time, I'm not stopping my sword. And I get what Guts is saying. He's like, look, Jill, you need to go home. Let me take care of this. If you get in the way next time, I'm probably not going to be able to stop myself because then I'll die and you will die too. So you need to know ahead of time, you're probably going to die if you follow me. Oh my God. Oh, I love the shadow on the sword. This is no place for some kid who snuck off from a loser father and a powerless mother. To go wandering around, you're a nuisance. I like Puck's like, don't you think you went a bit far? Kids have their own fairy tales. You want to escape? Stick to Peacoff. It's like, now get back here now. And I know Guts is trying to do tough love to be like, girl, don't follow me. You aren't going to like how this ends. Especially because he sees now how similar these stories are to his own. Why has it got to be this way? The story of Berserk. You keep going on about kids. Well, excuse her for being one. This is child abuse. I'll sue. Oh, regulations are strict these days. If you keep doing what you please, we'll get banned. I feel like that's the editor of this manga. I feel like the editor of this manga is like, hey, Guts, we're going to get sued if we keep doing this child abuse. Oh my God. Oh no. And then Miura takes Puck, the editor, and just puts him under the rock. You're as fairy tale as they come and you never learn. Let me out, you little. The meta jokes of this series with Guts and Puck are hilarious. And then Jill. Well, Jill, don't let what that rotten creep says get you down. Kids can't be blamed for being what they are. It's true for both you and Rosine. If you guys suffer just for being kids, then society's to blame. but it's embarrassing and frustrating. I feel like this story does a really good job of, through Puck and Guts' exchanges, with Guts being like, this is the way things are. And Puck's like, well, but why? But the things that are having a reason. And Puck and Guts is like, yeah, the reason sucks. And it's just like, it's Miura's way of making this commentary about society and using like the good cop, bad cop vibes of having Puck as the good cop and Guts as the bad cop. It makes it. And it's like, yeah. And I like that Jill is the mediator here, being like, yeah, it's frustrating and embarrassing that things have to be this way. And Puck, you know, you have Guts and Puck on either end of the spectrum explaining it. Oh, I know. And Puck's stuck. No. Shit. Well, crap. Oh, no. Oh. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh my God, it ate the frog, didn't it? Ah! Or did it just put it on her head? It just put it on her head. Oh, it feels like ages, Jill. Oh no. Leave Jill alone, Rosine! Leave her alone! And of course, I like that the page is just berserk. And then Guts is like, shit. Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh, and the illusion of making her look like her. Oh my God. Is Griffith able to do that? Is that able to be a thing? Or wait. Oh, the world of winged things. Oh. Okay, so she doesn't look entirely human again. Okay. Just kind of human. Kind of like the Count hiding themselves. Look how big you are now, Jill. You're almost as tall as me already. Oh, look. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it's like I used to tell you, this is the real me. The queen of the elves. Yeah. Yep. Jill, it's just like old times. There's lots we should catch up on. I'm going to extend you an invitation. Yeah, to turn her into an elf too. Mm-hmm. To the land of the elves, the Misty Valley. Oh, and they all say I. Yeah. Don't you worry about a thing. Yeah, she's going to try to turn her into a little demon too so they can join her, right? Shit. It's a good place and you can play and have fun all the time, even after the sun goes down. Yeah. So it's just her, like, she, in exchange for killing her parents, she wanted the power to become the elf from the fairy tale. And then she believes that she's saving these other children by taking them away and turning them into little demon elves, but it's just to satisfy and appease her own convictions. No! Shit! And of course Guts is like, well, son of a bitch. Yep. Oh my God. Oh, I'm afraid he's gonna kill Jill, but yeah. Oh. Uh-huh. But this, even though she looks so innocent there with Rosine, that form is all an illusion, right? Because we've seen what she also looks like. Oh my God. Crap. Oh, she did sever that one part. Okay. Guts did. Oh. Puck's like, is Puck finally free from the rocks? Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Yeah. Because, yeah, it hurting her. And then all the demonic little fairy children become these wasps. Stop, Rosine. And you know, Guts is like, I'm going to have to kill Rosine because he doesn't want Jill to suffer. But if Jill ends up getting hurt in the process. Jill, oh. Guts, you seemed about to kill Jill too. Did you mean to kill Jill too? So what if I did? Albatross death blow! A special move, former pro wrestler Killer Khan. It's the simultaneous delivery of a Mongolian chop and a knee thrust from the top rope. I love that Miura is incorporating wrestling moves into Berserk. And has like the little rotten. Mm-hmm. I already figured you were a rotten creep, but I never thought you'd stoop this low. Even a zombie fails at being rotten as you. Inhuman scumbag, dirty rotten bastard. From now on, when I see you, I'm calling you the bastard swordsman. So anyway, that being said, you disgust me. I hope you get killed, jerk. Goodbye. So long, bastard swordsman. How did I hold back somehow? Never. I feel like Guts, yeah, he did hold back. He was going to kill both of them, but it's like I feel for Guts the struggler because he's trying not to kill Jill, but at the same time he knows he has to kill that demon, otherwise it's going to keep killing more kids. And you don't need to be scared, Jill. I won't let go no matter what. Look, it's a view no human could ever see. The world as seen by only birds and us winged elves. Incredible, the forest, the river so far away, the sky, it's so vast and beautiful. I didn't know the world was this beautiful. My village is so small I can't see it anymore. And I like the idea, I do like the idea that there is something here about, I feel this in my own, where I live, because it's very rural and it's a very small town, and there's a lot of benefits to a small town, but then there's also this feeling for a lot of people I notice that they feel they can't escape and that they're just stuck there forever. And until you leave that small town, until you go out and see how big the world is, then it suddenly hits you like, wow, these problems that are in this small place are so insignificant compared to the world around where you're at. And a lot of people just never get out and see that. And I feel like Jill is seeing this for the first time, being like, wow, yeah, all the stuff that's in my village, I don't have to be confined there. It doesn't have to be just that. Like, this world is beautiful and huge. But then you have that juxtaposed with the idea that Rosine that's showing her this has sacrificed her soul to become a demon. And it's like, and it's playing with that concept of angels and demons. Like, is Rosine like demonic for sacrificing her parents? But is she also being like a savior to Jill for showing her this? It's the gray area, right? Oh, in that tiny place, I become frightened and small. You can fly all you want to your heart's content if you become one of us. It's that temptation, right? Giving into your desires, that temptation. But who would she sacrifice? Her father, probably. That's going to be interesting. Is she going to sacrifice her father? Who, yep, okay, an elf, but I couldn't. Why not? The Black Swordsman, who is he? Jill, do you have a thing for him? No, it's not that. I don't know anything about him. It looks like he was heading for the Misty Valley. I wonder if he'll make it there. The valley is guarded by some dependable grown-ups. Oh, no! Grown-ups? They would never hurt children. They protect us with their lives from all who would hurt us. They're real grown-ups. Protectors of children, the forest guardians, you'd say. Oh, shit. So there's demons that are connected to them. That would be why whenever Rosine was finding Rickert, she led Rickert to those demons who would probably be the grown-ups. Oh, no. Uh-oh. The mist is everywhere. I must be at the Misty Valley. Uh-oh. Ew. What is this big ball of human corpses? Oh, come on now, Mom. Come on, manga. Oh. Oh, shit. Oh, they're the ones. Okay. They're the ones from, yeah. We get Forest Guardian Peni on display. They're the ones from the tree spirit that got cornered by Rosine and they were made into guardians. Oh my God. Ew. You can't pass anyone who'd hurt children. We won't let them pass this point. From bandits to babysitters. And from human to something else. Ew. There's definitely like an Attack on Titan, like Titan vibe from this. A lot. Ugh. On the one hand, it's like, it feels like their comeuppance for attacking Jill. Rosine made them suffer for attacking Jill by making them guardians of the forest and turning them into these monsters. But also gross. Oh, and he used Judo's knives. Okay. Oh my God. Ugh. And shooting them with the arrows. Oh no, ew, and they have like the bugs. Oh, gross. Yep, like the scorpion bugs and everything. Ew. Shit. Oh my God, disgusting. No, 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 no. Blah. Ew, the idea that Rosine, this is like body horror freaky shit. Like Rosine turning them into these bug monsters. Ew. Nope. Oh, and this is where the beetle thing comes from the cover. Okay, yep, that all makes sense now. Weird. Oh shit. Oh god. Oh, it Guts' neck. No. No, 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 no. Oh my god. Oh, ew, no. Oh shit, Guts. No, they're gonna decapitate him. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, and he stuck his hand with the arrows and stuff through it. Oh my god, no, Guts. Oh, Puck, you gotta save him. Oh shit, and the knife isn't gonna work. Oh my god, ew. Oh, okay, okay. Oh my god, but there's more of them. Oh, all of the ball just unravels. Oh, bleh. Nope. Oh, Guts, ew. Oh, his neck and everything. Ah, no way, no way. Shit, they're all bugs. Ew, you can't pass. You who'd hurt the children, you can't pass. Oh my god. Also, I think it says something that it's this concept of Rosine turned the adults who seemed like the source of power in her life that were having authority over her. She transformed them into insects. And that makes sense because it's like you take something of power and turn it into something that's not powerful anymore. Yep. Guardians, chapter 2. Oh my god. Oh, it's so gross seeing them as bugs. I imagine Miura had a lot of research into like different types of bugs and what they look like. I imagine that Miura just did a lot of homework on drawing bugs and what the exoskeletons and everything looks like. It's very gross. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Ah! Ew, and like the grasshopper bug. No, thank you. My brother is terrified of grasshoppers. I wonder if he read this part or just skipped it. He's absolutely terrified of bugs. Oh, also, it's just so weird. It's like Miura has to draw Guts constantly battling through things. And when I was in the middle of the Golden Age arc and he was battling all of the hundreds and hundreds of soldiers from Adon, I was like, man, this seems so epic. And how on earth is Miura ever going to top this when we're this early in the story? The answer is we're just going to have him fight a bunch of bugs instead. Oh my God. Oh, nobody's out of arrows. All right, now we're getting the sword out. How he can still fight with puncture wounds to his neck. Guts is, I know everybody in the comments is like, Guts is human, but I'm like, inhuman, my friends. How is that possible? Oh my God, Guts. Also, I would be super pissed if I had been fighting demons for over 2 years nonstop. And then when I get why Guts is so bitter and why Jill and Puck trying to be idealistic frustrates him, because he's like, yes, I get what you're trying to say. I don't disagree with you. But also, I've been fighting demons for 2 years nonstop and they've been trying to kill me nonstop. I'm a little pissed off. Meanwhile, Rickard's like, you could have just stayed in the dungeon. You could have just stayed in the cottage at the save point. Oh no, what is Puck? Oh, you jerk, 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 jerk. Oh, I'm so pissed. This time around, it's not just humanly acceptable. Even if I am an elf. Oh, hey, Pally, what'd you think? You can make a personality. What'd you think can make a personality that screwed up? Oh, I like that Puck is thinking through this. He doesn't talk about himself one bit, you see. He only thinks of elves as bugs or something. How rude. I love that he's plucking the feathers out of the bird's head, and the bird's like, motherfucker. If I hadn't been with him till now, where would he be? He does not get how important I am at all. Oh my God, this is the limit of his memory. Oh man, the way that Miura draws the chibi versions of the God Hand is kind of cute. I kind of love that. Oh, what the heck happened between Guts and those God things anyway? Especially his relationship with that raven-looking one. It must have been beyond description if it made him into what he is. Something incredible must have happened. Banned. But what? I like that Puck's mind is not even allowed to conceptualize what we experienced in volumes 12 and 13. A human's whole life stained with nothing but rage. Now, what would do that? I like that Puck is contemplating the themes of this entire manga in this one little page. Ah, forget it, forget it! He's got nothing to do with me anymore anyhow. Nothing at all. It's too late. He keeps plucking the feathers from the bird, and the bird's like, get off of me. He's like, I'm glad that's off my chest. Oh no, and he pecked at Puck. Oh. This is the Misty Valley. Oh crap, escape! Oh, poor Puck. Oh. But what, is Jill in there somewhere? Okay, this is a good chance. I'm going in. If I run off now, I did tell him off and all. I've failed spiritually. If I don't keep an eye on this guy, it will steadily turn into a different manga. Just wait, Jill, here I come. Launching. Oh man, one kill. One man, one kill. You know what, Miura? I love Guts. He's my fave. But if you went on a tangent with Puck and we followed him for a couple volumes, I wouldn't complain. I would appreciate the levity. Yeah. I love it. I love that Puck tries to contemplate, like, to what extent Guts could have experienced to make him the way he is. And then he's like, too much for brain. Oh my God. And then we cut to the shot of Guts. Oh, I love how the chapter cover conveniently cut off the faces of the beetles connected to the claws. I love that that was cut off so we didn't know the full extent of what was going on. Poor Guts. Oh. I never thought you'd be able to defeat them all alone. Are you really human? Like, I care what either of you say. Well, we can't say we aren't equitable, can we? Oh, what? A praying mantis and this big Heracross beetle? Oh my God. Or Hercules beetle or whatever it is. Shit. Oh my God. Oh. Oh no, Guts. Oh, his arm. Shit. Oh my God. We're in no man's land now. So I know that we have like 42 volumes of this manga. So I'm like, Guts isn't going to die, or maybe he will and it'll just become Puck's story. I don't know. No, we know it's not, but oh no. Shit. Ah. Okay, that's his cape. For a second, I thought it's his cape, but for a second, I thought it was like the beetle with its claw around him. Okay, and they made graves for all the children. Or that's a graveyard and they just made a mass grave because they don't have enough stones to cover everyone. Pursuers. Ugh. Hey, steady on. Our son might be among them. That couldn't be true. It's interesting with the dad there, the war veteran. Oh, we're going to have are these the Chain Knights? Yes. Okay, we're going to get connection with the Holy Chain Knights. Okay. Another war? Oh my God, the peasants being like, oh shit, another war? I thought we just ended this. There's no need for worry. Father Hobbs! To think that we should lay eye upon them in a place like this. Oh, so what is this Holy Chain Knight thing? Again, we have Angelwoman coming up. What are we doing? What are we doing with her? She looks so glorious. Who is the priest in charge of this parish? Well, I am. My name is Hobbs, so he knows about them. Oh, okay. We've been sent to this place by the Holy See on a mission of miracle recognition. I am Farnese, leader of the Holy Iron Chain Knights. Farnese. Okay, we got her name. Miracle recognition, but why in a region as remote as this? I beg your pardon in that regard. What is this? Oh, okay. Azon Serpico, accompany me. I like this guy's like, what's going on? Elves and a black swordsman. I like Serpico doesn't open his eyes. He's just like, he looks very Geen-like. And then we have Robert Baratheon over here. Okay. It's hard to believe all at once. Okay. We're getting this set up. We are following that black swordsman. Ooh. I cannot divulge the details. I like her little tiny pigtails. Many in the region have repeated incidents of plague and poor harvest these past few years. Ooh, rumors of evil spirits have become commonplace. Eyewitnesses reports to the holy see of specters and monsters have increased these past 2 or 3 years. Okay. Among the eyewitnesses, there's one common account, and that's the Black Swordsman. Oh, are they going to blame Guts on all this when it's Griffith's fault? Are they going to do that? Or are they just trying to find out the details? Okay. Uh-huh. They've come across all these grisly incidents. Who is that man? Is he nothing more than an imagined vision born from the unrest of the people? Or is he merely a villainous criminal to whom have exaggerated rumors have been attached? Or possibly, does he hold some importance to our religion? Oh, interesting. And we have this, it looks like a DNA strand wrapped around a bird. Again, the idea of freedom and ego connecting with one another. I like it. I like it. And the dad's like, uh-oh. I don't know the circumstances, but your group has mobilized against one man. All that can be done is meet this man directly and ascertain the truth of the matter. Uh-huh. The Black Swordsman is an extraordinarily dangerous place. I wish to have one of the villagers guide you, but I don't want to expose anyone. Oh, is he gonna go? Is the dad gonna go? Of course he's going to go and then be the thing with the daughter with Jill. I don't want Jill to become a moth demon. I don't want her to choose that. I want her to choose to stay human. Oh, I'm heading out. Oh, and so he's going to have a chance to fight. Is that going to be it? I feel like the story is going to try to redeem the dad character, kind of like with the Count. And not redeem. Redeem might not be the right word, because just like with the Count did some awful things. But Miura has a tendency to show like the gray area in being that even though those people have done horrible things and that's not excusable, they're still human. And so there is still like part of their, and kind of showing different shades of humanity and why people do the things that they do, or why they don't, or why it's inexplainable. I feel like the Count storyline is going to be repeated with the dad somewhat. The only thing is now it's reversed. You have the daughter with the Count. The daughter, not Charlotte, but the daughter wanted to escape, and the Count had to make a decision whether to sacrifice the daughter or to stay human, and the Count chose not to sacrifice the daughter. Here we have the reverse scenario where the dad wants to venture out, relive the good old days, and be like with his sword and armor. And the daughter has the choice whether to sacrifice him or to stay human. And the question is Jill going to make the same decisions that the Count made and to choose not to sacrifice her family? Or is she going to become a demon and Guts is going to have to kill her? And it's so tempting because, Rosine has shown like the big world and how she could have power. But the thing about it is, in reality, you can have power and leave. You don't have to kill your family to leave home. In the real world, you can leave home. You don't have to kill your family to get out of a bad situation. That's not the end goal. That's not the only way things have to be. So it's going to be interesting to see what Jill ends up picking. And I'm afraid Miura is going to do a reverse on us and make Jill pick to become a demon, and Guts is going to have to kill her. And it's going to add to Guts' angst. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm going to be wrong. We used to be knights. That's why they're so tough. Oh no. Shit. It's so weird to see these two demonic creatures that seem to have some recollection of their human selves as they fight Guts. He's like, I can't fight them both at once. Kudos to Miura for spending so much time on this point. Oh. I can't dodge this time. If I dodge the big one, I can't avoid the mantis bastard's speed. What do I do? Yeah, how is Guts going to do this? How's he going to match it? Oh, okay. And then he did the cannon. Oh my God, the eyeball coming out. Another one. Oh shit. Yep. Oh. Pursuers, the end. Oh, okay. That worked out. Kudos to you, Guts. The Misty Valley Chapter 1. Oh, I love this one of Puck with the armor. And I love that. Okay, there are several things I love about this cover. One, Puck's little emblem on the beetle and everything. Two, I love the watermelon slice leading the beetle on like a carrot on a string. That's cute. But I think my favorite part about all of this is, aside from Puck's eyes being closed, it's the idea that the end of Puck's sword is the dandelion end, like the little ball of light. The dandelion. Like, it's supposed to be a sword, but it can't hurt anybody. I love it. Freaking love it, Miura. Give me more Puck. Oh, eyeballs, mantis guts, everything flying. We can't have a volume of Berserk without a double spread like this. It has to happen. Oh my God. Look at that. Damn. I want Puck to help Guts now, though, because Guts is really, really hurt. Okay, I'm glad his arteries didn't get cut, but he can't lose any more blood. And there's the elf dust. Oh. The sneak. Covering the inside of a person's bag with dust. Oh. And then they all became human again. Shit. So, it wasn't Puck finding him. It was the fact that he coated the bag with dust for him. Oh my God. Crazy. Oh, that's also so disturbing. The idea that Guts is like, shit, I've been battling all these monsters and now they turn back to humans, like they've been humans all along. Again, that ties back to that idea of, even though Rosine is a demon, is she human underneath it all? Layers, Miura. Just peel back them layers like an onion. Come on. Rah, 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 rah. Like, Puck is just doing Lady Gaga as he flies to the air. Bring it on, I'll kill you dead. Oh, the Puck's reaction to going through the mist is just to go flailing, arm flailing, and just like get out anything. Oh, I love the way Miura draws Puck there. They look so good. Yes, please. Oh, in the valley. Nice place this. I'm already feeling at home. It's autumn, but there's so many flowers. I feel nostalgic and strangely at ease. Is this an illusion or is this real? Is this the Misty Valley or is this just an illusion there to lure Puck in? Oh. Oh, and they're all playing. They're the ones that attacked Jill's village. But something... No, I can't. And Puck's like, I can't resist. I gotta play with them. Oh. Oh, the running smile is characteristic of comedian Kinchi Hagamoto, who had a characteristic running smile. Oh, no. Yeah, like they're all playing amongst each other. But then Puck interferes and joins in. Oh. Oh, now I done it. Something's different. Infiltration successful. Oh. Oh, it's an eyeball. Well, that's, Oh, he's stiff as a board. The queen's back and she's brought a new friend. Oh, shit. Jill. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Don't get caught. Don't get caught. Don't get caught. A huge cedar tree. Oh, I'm terrified, y'all. I am terrified that she's going to become a demon or be dead or worse. Oh, Miura draws Puck so good. Oh, crap. Oh. All of these. Yeah. What was that? Yeah. Oh, my God. Oh. Okay. She's not turned into a demon yet. Uh-huh. Yeah, and of course they're like trying to tempt her. The flowers are always in bloom and the trees always have fruit and it doesn't get cold even in winter. You're never hungry or cold like we were in the village. And this place is ours. A garden just for elves where human grown-ups aren't allowed to come. A land just for us. It has a very Peter Pan it has a Peter Pan sort of Lost Boys vibe to it, right? If I'd known the Misty Valley was like this, I'd have come here with you sooner. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. And then there's like all the flowers and everything. Oh no. Have you decided to become one of us? I still don't know. I'm sorry. Just spend tonight thinking it over. But Jill, was there anything fun in the village? Anything more fun than flying in the sky? Oh, Puck. Oh boy, it was tough sneaking in here. Like even unlimited lives weren't enough. Like I'd eaten like 13 of, I had to ice like 13 of them. Oh my God. Why are you here? I like the Puck's like, I had to kill all these fairies to get here, girl. I came to rescue you. Or was it 15? It's like, yeah, it's this idea of these demons given to their desires, but it's like, it's an escape from reality, but then it doesn't change the fact of reality that they killed people to get here. And it's like, is this, something that can last? And is this paradise you created because you've murdered people to have it? Is that worth it? To rescue 18 of them to be exact. The swordsman Guts. Oh, I gave up on him. Team's history. Oh, you aren't together. I mean, he was going to cut right through you last time. That was true. That's the kind of guy he is. Let's forget that. Let's get out of here. It's too dangerous here to be by yourself. You were asked to become an elf? So what are you going to do? You didn't say okay, did you? I don't know. What should I do? Oof. Well, what should you do? They're monsters. They sure ain't real elves. They attack and eat humans. Didn't you say so yourself, Jill? Yeah. They seem to be having fun here and it's so peaceful. Attacking and eating humans is what wolves do too. Maybe that's just what you do when you're not human. Well, wolves don't do that except in special situations. And hey, everyone here used to be. Besides, I can't find it. For me, I can't find anything more enjoyable than those little ones. And being hungry and cold and worrying about the weather every day and afraid of bandits, afraid of war. Oh. And yeah, her dad. Or those guys at the bar. Yeah, those guys in the woods, yeah. Not her dad in that moment, but... Yeah, I mean, if you were faced with that scenario every single day, it would be tempting to give up your humanity. Oh, man. I'm sensing a terrible chill and fear. What is it? But look, nobody knows what the future holds besides your mother. Yeah, your mother's worried. Never mind your old man, my mother. Yeah. Hello, maybe I'll turn out like my mother. Unable to get angry no matter what's done to her. Even if her own child is beaten, all she does is cower and cry. Maybe that's how I'll end up. Puck's like, uh-oh, this is bad. I made it worse. Maybe I'll become like my father, bullying my child when the mood strikes. I'd never. Oh, no, I'm sure I would. I mean, I'm their daughter. Jill, it hurts. I'm sorry, Puck. I crushed like a nut again. I feel it's so awful because, yeah, Miura is exploring these ideas that people, it's intergenerational trauma and you grow up a certain way and you're like, am I going to become like my parents? But again, Miura also explains in this series that it's choice. You don't have to become like them. You can choose to do something else and it's going to be painful and it's going to hurt, but you don't have to succumbing to this temptation of the elves is the easy way out. It doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't change the future. Like she keeps talking about nothing changing, but her becoming that elf is just perpetuating the cycle even more if she does it. And changing the cycle is painful and hard, but it is possible. And I don't think Puck knows how to say that. Oh. What's all this? They're playing war. It looks so real. Oh my God. Oh, well, that would turn me off from the idea entirely. Yep. Nope. At that point, I'd be like, nope, that's no game. They're killing each other. Yeah, at that point, I'd be like, never mind. I don't want to be an elf. We're good. We're solid. We're great. Because, yeah, this is basically like it all seems like it'd be such a great, easy alternative. And then you see, no, it's just perpetuating the cycle over and over again. Yeah, no. They're dancing. Only humans can enjoy killing like that. Only humans or monsters. I'm glad Miura gives us this because it's literally showing, like, for a second I was like, Miura, are you painting her becoming an elf like it's a great thing? But then Miura shows us, like, yeah, the world can suck, but you can make a choice to get out of that situation. And the grass being greener on the other side doesn't exist. They're still monsters and they're still killing each other. It's like you have to make a change for yourself, but you can't join this other group thinking that it's going to make things better. Oh my God. Oh. Oh, adult attack. Adult attack. Oh my God. Miura! Why? But why? Yeah, fuck no. No. Miura, you didn't have to do that. Why? Why did you have to do that? Shit. Oh. And then the one that they killed turned back into a kid. And they all turned back into kids. Oh my God. She won't accept our gift. She hit us. She hit the elves. Isn't she a friend? Oh my God. Nope. Not good, Cotton. Not good. The mood's turned ugly. That is an understatement. We gotta scram, Jill. There's no time to freeze up. Let's escape. Oh my God. Nope. Not good, Cotton. Not good. Oh, I'm glad we're not ending here. I was like, we better have one more chapter at least. We better have one more chapter. Oh my God. I can't run anymore. The fog's gotten thick again. Come on, stand up. Now's our only chance. While the fog hides us. But in this fog, we don't know which way to go. We didn't think of that. Speaking of which, where are we? Oh my God. Cocoons. Ew, no thank you. Why? The nature of this. Oh my God. Something's inside of it. Yeah. It's like the eggs. Yeah. Oh my God. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Ew. Yep. And then becoming the bugs. They are emergence grounds. Yeah, where human children are reborn as elves. Ugh. Why'd you try to run away? Oh my God, they're killing each other. Humans are always doing that. Human children are cowards. If you become an elf, it's not scary. It's fun to go all out. Yeah, it's just basically giving over to base desires and all that. Oh my God, that looks terrifying. The way that Miura draws Rosine like that. Nope. But you die. It's not playing at all. It's killing your own friends. It's all right. There are new friends soon enough. The funny thing is we're only playing human. Yet Jill the human hates it so much. Preach on! Yep, yep. Oh my God. Are you saying, you say you don't like playing war, but if you go home now, there might be a real human war waiting for you in the future. And that's not all hunger, cold beatings. Remember back to when you were small, when we played together, just us. The fun things were always just outside the village. The forest, the river, our imaginations outside our real lives. Human villages are full of bad things for human children. Every fun thing is right here. If you become an elf, everything you would have imagined. Yeah, but it's not any better. Ugh. Oh shit, no! I'll make you an extra special elf, pretty and strong, and no one will be able to hurt you. Oh no! Shit, no, damn it! No! Damn it, I don't want her to become an elf! Son of a bitch! Oh! Snap out of it, Jill. She's a monster. You're the one, Peacoff. You gave Jill strange ideas. Oh, yep. Oh, sword grab. Oh. Yeah, and then she sees like it's gonna transform her and like mutilate her and kill her from the inside to become that elf. Yeah, good. Snap out of it, Jill. Come on, girl. Oh. The cocoons are on fire. Oh, there he be. There he be. Yes. Get her out of that. Yes. Oh my God. Guts. Oh my God. Mr. Swordsman. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh my gosh, Guts. Yep, just hacking through him. Yep, and using that fairy dust to save him, to heal himself. Oh my God. Oh, Guts. Oh my gosh. Hey, Jill, let's take cover now. Yeah. Why for an instant? For an instant swaying inside the blaze, he was the one who looked more like a terrifying monster to me. I mean, yeah, but I feel like everybody keeps talking about how Guts looks like a monster to them, but I'm like, as we've seen in this story, all of humanity have inside of them a monster, a form of a monster, a form of a demon. It's whether you lean into it and whether you accept it. Like Rosine accepted it. Rosine accepted the monster inside of her, and she's trying to perpetuate it and manipulate others to follow the same suit, like she is trying to with Jill. I'm glad Jill got out of that. I was like, I don't want Jill to become a demon. Nope. And I'm glad that that's not the case yet. But it's just like, I keep wanting someone to follow up on that every time somebody's like, wow, Guts looks like a monster and he looks even more terrifying than the monsters they're fighting. I keep wanting someone to follow up with it saying, but they all are monsters, and no one's done that yet. That's the end of the volume. Damn it. Okay. Volume 13's cover is insane. It's really good. It's really good, but it is insane. But like the symmetry of it, it looks very much like a bodice ripper from the 1980s, which I'm sure is the goal. Okay, Volume 14's arc. I like Volume 14 and 15's covers. Ooh, these are really good. Volume 14 I really like because it's like Puck and the little light amongst the darkness. There's Guts in the darkness, and Puck is like the little shimmering beacon of light. I love that. And then you have here the Misty Valley, the elves. You have Rosine in the green, and you have Puck in the green as well. I love that to pieces too. That's awesome. Oh my God. Oh my God. And that's it. That'd be the volume. This volume was very interesting. It went by very quickly without my giant intro, because I think most of it was just Guts fighting bugs. But again, there's this idea of Rosine and like all this bad stuff happening to these children. And again, Miura is talking about like the world is being so cruel to these children, and these children grow up to being monsters. Like if you perpetuate this environment for a child, they will grow up thinking that the only way for them to survive, the only way for them to have freedom and to be able to embrace a life without pain is to become a monster. And that's not true. And I feel like Jill's trying to rationalize through that, and so is Puck. But it's like, it's hard to argue when everything that Rosine is pointing out is technically true, but then you see the other side of the fence and you're like, but the way that the elves are is no better. They're still killing each other, and it's an illusion of peace, but it's no better. So I'm going to be curious, since Jill was the one to bring up at the beginning of this arc about the concept of stopping the cycle, if she's going to end up being caught up in it and it's going to just be futile for her, or if she's actually going to change it somehow. I don't know. And the dad seems to be going with whatever her name is. We got the name of the night finally. What was her name? We finally got her name in all of this. Was it Fairnies? We talk about them. I want to go back to finding them in this, where they talk about them going along. Okay, it was past that point because she's talking about it there. But we got the Holy Knights' names as they're going through. Yeah, here we go. Her name is Farnies. We got Farnies, and they're trying to track down Guts to find if he's the common denominator or what's going on. He's tied to their religion, possibly. So I'm curious about this religion. I'm curious about we haven't talked a lot about religion in this story yet so far, so curious what we're going to get with that. But I like Serpico, Arzon, and Farnese so far. They're interesting. They're very mysterious. I'm curious to see what they're going to do when they catch up with Guts, how that's going to go. But I'm very interested in what's going to happen, if she's related to the Skull Knight or how that goes. But I'm also curious about the dad seemingly going into the Misty Valley. What's going to happen there? Is he going to end up trying to protect Jill and redeem himself, or is it just going to make things more complicated? Probably that. What are we going to do with that? But I didn't end up using Whiteboard Coon. I may let Whiteboard Coon sit on the sidelines next volume. We'll see. But overall, this was a pretty straightforward volume, but it's so frustrating and anxiety inducing because you want Jill to make the right decision and not become a demon, but you totally understand where Rosine is coming from and why she made those decisions. And it's just like, no. So yeah, but yeah, what do we do? So in any case, I am excited to hear your comments down below. I hope you all enjoyed this volume. I will be back next week. We'll be starting Deluxe Volume 6 with Volume 16 of Berserk. So in the meantime, I hope you all stay safe, take care, and I'll see you all again real soon. Bye.